Welcome into the Never Dropped podcast, the live stream watch party for Jaron Boots Ennis versus Uisma Lima. Here tonight, we are watching Boots Ennis make his 154-pound debut. A fight that, well, I've talked about this in my preview of the fight, a fight that honestly not many people really wanted against Lima because of the fact Boots is an elite talent, a guy moving up to 54, was at 47 for a while. We can talk about all of this. They want to see, meaning they, the fans, and you might be on the same boat, and there might be rightful criticism for Boots Ennis. They want to see him versus Virgil Ortiz, Sebastian Fundora, Xander Zayas, all these guys, whether it be the champions at 54, Virgil Ortiz is not a champion, but he's an elite fighter at 154 pounds. So, what is up with Boots? Well, here we go. Tonight, here in Philly, in his hometown of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Boots Ennis is making his 154-pound debut. It was talked about many times, a lot of times thrown out by Virgil Ortiz's camp that Boots wanted tune-ups, wanted 3 tune-ups. Well, there's no necessarily tune-up in the sport of boxing, but people might say that this one versus Usman Lima, 14-1, never having fought in America before, is a tune-up at 154. So what if it is, right? New division for Boots Ennis. The real question is, after this fight, the quote-unquote real fights, the championship level fighters, those fights have to happen next. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So we're here. I think tonight is a night that I do think Jaron Boots Ennis gets the victory. I do. I'll just come out and say that. I think this is a fight that Boots Ennis should take care of business. But I'm more interested in looking at how he looks in the ring at 154 pounds. The speed for Boots, the power for Boots, the defense. He talked about training himself to 47, 147. Man, that killed a lot of his abilities. He said doctors were saying he was only performing at 35% of his capabilities. So let's see if that percentage goes up now that he's not draining all the way to 47. That's what I'm looking at. Obviously, the fight might play out different. It might be, oh, we have to look and see whether or not Boots is actually going to win this fight. But at this moment before the fight, we're about to start the co-main in just a little bit, and I'll have a round timer on the screen so you can sync up with your stream and my stream if you want to. I want to see how Boots fares at 154 because the level of talent at 54 is incredible. I believe they started this broadcast off by saying deepest division in boxing, and I do not disagree. So, Boots Ennis, welcome to 154. Boots will get judged tough because people see the talent he is. And in the chat, there is a poll. Go ahead, feel free to vote who you think's winning. Is it going to be Boots Ennis or is it going to be Uisma Lima? Let me know and comment below in the chat. Let me know. I appreciate everyone tuning in. It'll be a fun night. As I mentioned, the co-main is just about to start. A undercard here in Philadelphia. Zaquin Moses fought on the prelims. Tamir Smalls just won the third fight or second fight, third to next fight of the night. So coming up are the heavyweights, big guys. That's the co-main, and then of course Boots Ennis in the flesh. Let me know throughout the night what your scorecards are, how you're feeling about the fight. Do you think Boots is looking good at 54? Do you think he's not looking at good at 54? Let me know in the comments all night. It's going to be a fun night of watching here. Boots Ennis versus Uisma Lima. Again, co-main is about to start. DAZN's in some commercials at the moment, so we'll talk about the co-main, of course, talk about Boots Ennis. If you're new to the Never Drop podcast, I appreciate you tuning in. I did a preview of this fight where I mentioned what I just said, the things I'm looking at for Boots, and you might have your own things you're looking at for Boots Ennis. For me, it's 3 things: power, speed, defense. We can quickly go through all of them. Power for Boots. And all of these, he had these attributes at 147. Boots is a pound for pound talent type of guy. He just doesn't have those names on the resume that boost him up to a top 10 guy. Talent-wise, yeah, he's a top 10 guy in the sport. He's had all these attributes: power, speed, defense. I want to see them improve. Power, obviously going up in weight. You're draining yourself to make 147. You look like a skeleton come weigh-in days. Then you rehydrate, but obviously the power's not going to be there. I want to see what the power looks like. You're also switching gloves, going from 147 to 154, 147 8-ounce gloves, 154 10-ounce gloves. See if that makes any difference. It won't for great fighters, and really probably for regular fighters. It doesn't make a difference. They train with these gloves, but let's see the power at 54. Speed, speed and footwork. Again, you're draining yourself to 47. Is that slowing you down? Is that slowing you down in the ring? I want to see whether or not it is. If he's at 54, hey, maybe he's faster, maybe he's quicker. We will see. Because I say this because I don't think 54 is the last stop for Boots Ennis. I think Boots might be here for what, 3, maybe 4 years, and then he's going up to 160. He's still a big 154-pound fighter. So while I say, and you might say, watching, well, of course, his speed and his power and all this stuff will be better because he's moving up to 54. It's not like he's not having to cut weight. He's still having to cut weight to get to 54. That's still the case here. So that's what I'm looking at. And then, of course, defense. In his last few fights, Boots Ennis, he's been hit a little bit. And I understand it's boxing, everybody gets hit. But he's been hit a little too much for comfort. Whether it be Karen, whether it be Stanionis. Obviously, you can't say anything about the Stanionis fight because that was Boots' best performance of his career. An unbelievable performance against Stanionis. I want to see Boots' defense improve. Again, it might be something as simple as draining the fit at 47 made him slower. Okay, prove it. Prove it tonight. Let's see your defense against Uisma Lima, who everybody says has good power, solid speed, legit fighter. Uisma Lima is a legit fighter. For Boots, we think he's an elite fighter. So let's see how it looks. Again, in the chat, make sure, okay, we have someone believing Uisma Lima will win this fight. Vote in the poll. Let me know in the comments who you have, why you have them in this fight, and feel free if you're new to the channel, like and subscribe to the channel, like the video, like the stream, subscribe to the channel. First live stream since what was it? August. Yeah, last month, about a month ago, August 13th. Canelo Crawford. That was an incredible, fun night of boxing. Now we are back with this one. Boots Ennis here tonight. Unfortunately, I'm just filling time as Zone is cutting to talking to Diego Pacheco, Eddie Hearn, Tito Mercado. Unfortunately, we're not getting a huge fight, not huge, but a very fun fight card that would have been Sebastian Fundora versus Keith Thurman. Uh, Unfortunate that Fundora hurt his hand while training. We're not going to see that fight in October. It seems like it will get pushed back to December, January. But personally, I was excited for the undercard. Oshaki Foster versus Stephen Fulton. Those guys have been training for each other for months now, not getting that opportunity. And then, of course, I was happy to see Frank Martin back in the ring. Don't know the status on that. So we will see. But Boots Ennis here tonight on October 11th. Let me know in the comments. Where do you have Boots in today's boxing rankings? Eddie Hearn is obviously his promoter, obviously going to say all these things. Eddie Hearn's been adamant in saying that Boots Ennis will be the pound for pound best fighter in the sport. He certainly has the talent to try and get to that position. For Boots, where do you have him? Do you have him top 10? I think top 10 would be a little much right now. Do you have him top 15, top 20? Let me know where you have Boots Ennis in your pound for pound rankings because I think 15 to 20. I can understand if you have them 10 to 15, but 15 to 20, I think, at the moment, just because so far we haven't seen Boots fight the best guys. And at 47, it wasn't his fault because he was waiting for Spence and Crawford to finish with 47. He wanted the winner or the loser. Everyone thought that would be a close fight, or the loser, then he gets the winner, right? That fight takes forever. They move on to 54, above, and all these different things. Boots gets left with, oh, really? Okay, I get Karen Chukanzania. I get David Avanesian. I finally get Stanionis. He was going to fight Virgil Ortiz at 47. Virgil can't make 47 anymore. Up at 54. That's the mega fight at 54 Boots. Virgil versus Boots Ennis. That's the fight, and that's the fight that's the name and fight you're gonna hear all throughout tonight. Virgil Ortiz versus Jaron Ennis. I think it's the best fight in boxing. I think it's a top 3 fight in boxing. At this moment, all divisions. I think Jaron Boots Ennis versus Virgil Ortiz is a top 3 fight in boxing. But both guys got to win their fights. Boots Ennis has his task here tonight against Uisma Lima. Virgil Ortiz has Erickson Lubin in Fort Worth next month, November 8th. Both guys have to win their fights. Eddie Hearn has said, hey, we have a contract, we have an offer, we're scheduled. First few months, I think he said January, February, March, Vegas, Virgil Ortiz were signed. Virgil Ortiz's people are saying, no, we don't have an offer, we don't have a date, we don't have anything. It's a he said, she said, all these different things, because boxing is, right? But that's the fight. That's the fight that's got to happen. Watching here on DAZN at the moment. Looks like the heavyweights are still warming up in their locker rooms. I'm sure ring walks are going to start soon here for the heavyweights. As after, this is the co-main. After, obviously, the main with Boots Ennis taking the ring. How was it? Boots Ennis, both fights. Yeah, I'm trying to think because he had the Staniotis fight in Atlantic City last. I was in Boots Ennis's last 2 Philly fights because he went David Avanesian and Karen Chukanzan, the rematch. Both David Avanesian was a better fight for Boots. Karen was a fight that, hey, people actually did walk out of the stadium for that one. People weren't happy that Karen Chukanzan was getting a rematch. I understand it really didn't turn into a good fight. Boots knocked him down, got hit too much, all these different things. But the atmosphere is good. On the East Coast, Boots can sell. Whew. People show out in Philly, and then Atlantic City looked like everything was great out there as well. Boots can sell on the East Coast. It's just about building his brand. Virgil Ortiz can sell in the South, in the West. Obviously, a Mexican American fan base for Virgil Ortiz. He's fought in Vegas, LA, trains out in California. Robert Garcia grew up hometown fighter, Fort Worth, attacked Grand Prairie, Fort Worth, so can sell out here in Texas as well as the heavyweights are making their way to the ring right now. Of course, again, I will have a round. Let's put this up. Round number 1. And then I will have a countdown. So if you want to sync where the fight is, feel free to go ahead and do that. And make sure if you're new to the channel, like the stream, and be happy. I'd really appreciate it if you subscribed to the channel. Just this past week, I was in San Antonio for the Bull Cruz versus Lamont Roach kickoff press conference, covering Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis press conference in Miami, as well as Virgil Ortiz versus Erickson Lubin press conference. So feel free, hit the subscribe button, and stay up to date with everything here on the Never Drop podcast. You see the socials above. Feel free to follow those as well. Second heavyweight is making his way out right now. Barrier. Let's see. Alexis Barrier, Vanello. Heavyweights. And this card, not my favorite. Khalil Ko, I believe, was supposed to be on it. If I'm remembering correctly, Khalil Ko was supposed to be on it. Zachman Moses, I mentioned on the prelims. Hey, it is what it is, right? I was spoiled by the fact when I went for the Boots versus Karen Chukinzan rematch in November in Philly. Bam Rodriguez was on the undercard. He was the co-main. I'd say it was 50-50. I'd seen Boots in Philly before, but I wanted to see Bam for the first time. And guess what? Bam didn't disappoint. Bam's the real deal fighting on November 2nd in that stacked Ring 4 Riyadh card. Incredible, right? But we'll talk about Bam Rodriguez at a later date. Tonight is a Jaron Boots Ennis fight night, as overwhelmingly right now, Boots, the chat has Boots winning this fight. Again, feel free to go ahead and vote in the on the poll, vote in the poll, on the poll. The poll is in the chat, and if you want to go ahead and put your predictions in the chat as well. We are about to get started here for the co-main. We'll talk, I'll give you updates on the co-main, of course, and talk about Boots Ennis. That's why we're here, right? That's the draw tonight. Draw on Boots Ennis. So we will see what happens. Should be a fun night. Appreciate everyone tuning in here to the Never Drop podcast. Oh, that's wrong shoulder. I was about to say I got Muhammad Ali over the shoulder right here. If you're wondering who the orange guy up here, Otto from Syracuse. Otto the Orange. Right here, as looks like we are about to get underway with the heavyweights. Ring intros happening at the moment. Uisma Lima picked up a vote. Do you think Boots, the people that think Boots is winning, is it Boots by KO or decision? I've seen a lot of people think Boots is going to get the KO before 8 rounds. And I'm going to talk about this. And while this co-main is going, I'll just throw out the question now. What is, other than losing tonight's fight, that's obviously worst case scenario for Boots. So let's throw that out the window. Other than losing tonight, what is the worst case scenario for Boots Ennis? Is it going the distance? Is it getting maybe a late knockout? What's the worst case scenario for Boots Ennis, bar he loses, right? He loses, obviously, that takes precedent. Doesn't matter via decision, KO, whatever. If he wins, does he have to win in a spectacular fashion? We'll talk about that throughout this co-main and leading up to the main. Right now, the fighters for the co-main, the heavyweights, should be a brawl here, are about to get started. Again, I'll have my countdown if you want to sync up. Appreciate everybody tuning in to the stream. Both fighters looking to get started, and here we go. Round one for the co-main has begun. Barriere, excuse me. The favorite, Alexis Barriere, and then Guido Vianello. The underdog here, Barriere. Southpaw. Okay. This is going to be heavyweights. You know that one punch is it, right? One punch can do all the damage and end the fight. Rodrigo, unfortunately, no, I will not show the fight itself. The fight is on the zone. If you want to be able to, you know, go watch the fight on the zone and also have my stream up maybe on your phone, feel free to do that. Fortunately, I'd love to show you guys the fight, but I would get copyrighted and my channel would be gone, about in an hour. So I can't show you the actual fight, but I'll be walking you through the entire main event. So feel free if you want to stick with me. Or the fight, it is on DAZN, and then pull me up, on your phone right there. That's where closing in on halfway through the first round, these heavyweights. Appreciate everyone tuning in here. Barrier, southpaw against Guido. Heavyweight division interesting one because who challenges Alexander Usyk, the undisputed champion? Joseph Parker actually is fighting on October 25th. Joseph Parker fighting Fabio Warren in the O2 in London. I think it's as simple as Joseph Parker wins that fight, he gets Usyk. Why not, right? Usyk's fought Fury twice, Joshua, Dubois twice. Has he fought Joshua twice too? Like, okay, let's Joseph Parker. If you think you got what it takes, I don't think anybody beats Alexander Usyk. But if you think you got what it takes, there you go. You deserve it. Parker has, hey, he's put on some great performances. He's done incredible things in his run at heavyweight as of late. So, hey, I wouldn't mind seeing it again. That is really the state of the heavyweight division. Who can compete and challenge with Alexander Usyk? Everyone else is just vying for an opportunity for that number two position and then to fight Usyk and try and prove that they're the guy. But doesn't seem like anybody is the guy. So we got two heavyweights in the co-main, round one coming to an end. That's a nice move from Barriere. As closing in on round one. There we go. Round one in the books for the two heavyweights. Round number two. Feel free if you're new. Again, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Appreciate you tuning in to the Never Drop podcast. Doing more of these fight. If I'm not at the fight, this is what I want to do. I want to do a live stream, talk with you guys. Worked well with Canelo Crawford. I was hoping to do Fundora Thurman. Obviously, that's canceled. Maybe we'll do Parker versus Fabio Wardell. Or, yeah, Wardley. Excuse me, not Wardell. Wardell, Stephen Curry. No, Wardley. And then, let's see. I'm trying to think. October. Or excuse me, this is October, November, as round two is about to begin for two heavyweights. There we go. November's a fun month as well. I know I'm looking, a month in advance, but you look at November, October 8th. I'm here in Fort Worth, Dickies Arena. Virgil Ortiz versus Erickson Lubin. That'll be one heck of a fight. November, a week later, on the 14th, whether you like it or not, Tank versus Jake. On the 15th, Conor Benn versus Chris Eubank Jr. As Guido is teeing off right now with 30 seconds gone in the second round. Looks like Barrier is trying to get his legs back as Guido. Oh, nice left hook from Guido. Looks like Guido has the distance at the moment. He's going to the body now, to the head. I mean, he's coming in as the underdog. If you have Barrier hurt, you got to go. Especially, again, heavyweights, one punch can make the difference, can end the fight. He's going straight right. We'll see. Oh, both throwing nice hooks right there. But as I was mentioned, Conor Benn versus Chris Eubank Jr., November 15th, then November 22nd. That'll probably be an all-day stream. That's Ring 4, David Benavidez, Anthony Yard, uh, Devin Haney versus Brian Norman Jr. Honestly, maybe the best fight left on the calendar. Subscribe to the channel. Talk plenty about that fight. Bam Rodriguez on that card. Abdullah Mason versus Sam Noakes on that card. I know Turkey has talked about in the past that some of his other cards are the best cards in boxing. I think Ring 4 might hold the title for that. So we'll see. Back to this fight. 1 minute, 15 seconds left here in the round. Guido got off to a fast start. Barrier still trying to find his balance, find his rhythm here in this round. I like the reach Guido is using, fighting orthodox with the lead left, just kind of out there. That's a nice left from Barrier. Cool. So 38 seconds left in the round, and You think like you got to think this is going to turn into a slugfest as Barrier gets out of the way of that looping hook. Again, if you're new in the chat, feel free vote on the poll who you think's going to win, Boots or Uisma Lima. Let me know in the chat how, whether it be KO decision. Let me know in the chat who and how you have them winning. And if you're new, I appreciate it. Hit the like button on the stream and subscribe as we're hitting round number 2, triple zeros, as that will be the end of the round. We're currently in the co-main in Philadelphia, awaiting Jaron Boots Ennis' 154-pound debut. Let's kind of workshop this question I posed before the co-main started. Barring a loss for Boots Ennis, what is the worst possible outcome? Let me rephrase. What's the worst possible outcome? Obviously, a loss tops everything. But if he were to win, with the amount of pressure and criticism that has been on Boots, whether you think it's fair or unfair, with his pick of Lima as his first 154 opponent, I'm not someone like you give all the credit in the world to Devin Haney. He's going in his first 147 fight, he's fighting the best in Brian Norman Jr. That's not going to happen with every fighter. And with a dangerous Jaron Boots Ennis, the champions aren't going to just go with Jaron Boots Ennis immediately, right? That's the case. So, does Boots, for the audience, for the boxing audience, whether it's fair or unfair, have to put on a show tonight against Lima? Does he have to get him out of there early? Does he have to dominate 12 rounds? What does Boots have to do? And on the flip side of that, what can Boots not do? I know Greg Hackett, incredible guy here in the sport, said he thinks Boots might get dropped by Lima and then put on a beating. The rest of, Boots will get up and put a beating on Lima for the rest of the fight. Okay, yes, that shows heart. That shows incredible heart. And I'm not one of those guys who think you get dropped once, you're chinning. Okay, it's boxing. You get hit, whatever. But if you're to get dropped by Lima, that I think would be arguably maybe the worst outcome, not being a loss in this fight. You got to think, him and Verger are getting compared to each other. Boots Ennis fighting here tonight. This performance at 54, the debut, will be compared to Virgil's performance against Erickson Lubin on November 8th. Of course, both guys have to win, set up that fight. But how do they look in their performances? That's what we will see. Let me know in the comments what you think the worst outcome, not being a loss, would be for Boots. Boots clearly ahead in the poll here in the stream, in the chat. 75% of you who have voted believe Boots wins this fight tonight. A lot of people in boxing believe that is the case. So we will see. Minute left in round number 3 of Barrier and Guido. Vianello. 2 heavyweights fighting in Philadelphia. I believe it was Barrier I believe that was Sugar Hill Stewart. And I believe Kronk Jim was in his corner. I believe that was Barrier. We'll see when he goes back to his corner. But right now, both guys still filling each other out, at least this part in the end of the round. Number 3, not too many power shots, heavy blows being thrown as it's going to be Barrier throwing some nice punches. Ooh, okay. They heard me and decided to throw some. 10 seconds left in the round. As we're coming to a conclusion here in round number 3 of the co-main. Triple zeros on the clock as the fighters return to their corners and their stools to prepare for round number 4 of the co-main. This one's only going 10 rounds. Yeah, could go shorter, obviously, with a knockout, but 10 rounds is the max. Then we get the main event. They're showing some promotions for DAZN. fight card for Matchroom in Orlando on November 1st. In case you're in that area, Philadelphia, as Boots Ennis currently being shown warming up in the locker room. This is a huge fight for Boots. 154 debut. People want to see a show put on by Boots Ennis. I got to think. This might be Boots' last fight in Philly for a little bit. You think about it. I mean, they talked about Vergil Ortiz fight could be in Vegas. It will be in Vegas. I mean, they're not going to do Philly. They're not going to do Dallas as round 4 begins. They're not going to give either of these guys home field, home stadium, hometown advantage. As heavyweights getting active here. Both guys. Oh, as Barrier takes a fall, but it's going to be a slip, so he's back up on his feet. 1 second, I'll return to my point about Boots and Philly in a second after watching these two heavyweights start the 4th round early. Vianello going after Barrier. All right, they're in a clinch. But you got to think, that fight happens neutral ground, Vegas. Hopefully not Riyadh, just for the fact that's a American fight. I think Turkey would love to have Virgil and Boots, but I think a lot of fight fans would love to see that here in America. So you build some American stars, incredible. Okay, so for Boots, that fight doesn't. Oh, that's a great left from Barriere. Todd Grisham calling them both rhinoceroses. Yeah, but these guys are big guys just throwing leather at each other in the 4th round. For Boots Ennis, if you were to fight a champion, it wouldn't be in his hometown. The champion would say, "I'm the A side," whether that's fair or not. They have the belt. You can make the case. Well, they probably don't sell tickets like Boots sells tickets because on the East Coast, Boots sells. As a champion, you're going to get that side. With the A side, you're not going to want to fight in Philly. So this theoretically could be Boots' last fight in Philly for a while. Because if he wants these big fights and he's adamant about getting these big fights, he's not going to have a hometown advantage in Philly. That just won't happen. So, Philly fans, if you're there at the fight, going to the fight, enjoy it. Oh, Barriere, nice left hand. Vianello, oh, those definitely did damage to him. We're under a minute here in the 4th round. Oh, Vianello throwing a nice. Oh, he hurt him. Barriere's on the ropes. Vianello's teeing off on him right here. We might have some damage for Barrieres. He's just throwing left hook to the temple, right to the temple, left to the temple. Barrieres on a knee. Oh my goodness, with 30 seconds to go in the 4th round. That took a turn. He's getting counted. It looked like everything was going smooth. And then some hooks to the temple. My stream's a little ahead, so I am at 10 seconds left. Vianello throwing punches. Barriere's legs are not under him. Less 10 seconds here to go. It's a huge right hand. Can he make it to the bell? Barriere just leaning on the ropes, and the bell sounds and he makes it out. Oh my goodness. Oh wow. That is Sugar Hill just coming out. Talking to Barriere. I think the ref is telling his team, I got to see something in the next round. Barriere was not throwing any punches at the end of that. Oh my goodness. We might have an early night in the co-main. Wow. Please show the replay because I'd love to see some of those punches. Here's one right now on the zone stream. Vianello obviously just throwing as soon as he sees Barriere just injured with no legs. He's just throwing temple shot, temple shot, temple shot. Oh my goodness. And then Barriere just has to take a knee. Gotta see Guido Vianello jump on him here. There's no way the legs are still under him. Oh, Vianello throwing punches. Oh, knocks him down. Oh, what a shot! As the ref is counting, Barriere six, seven. That's good. That's the fight. Grito Vianello is pulled the upset and knocked out. Barrier, oh my goodness, what? Wow, what a shot! You know it. I told it. Told you. Heavyweights, one shot on the temple that messes with your equilibrium. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. And Guido Vianello landed the shot and pulled the upset. Wow, I mean, that's what you see when heavyweights fight. That was an exciting fight. No, I know we were talking through some Boots Ennis stuff here with the stream. Wow, exciting. Soul main that ends early, and we're gonna get to the main soon. I see in the chat a lot of Boots Ennis believers. A lot of people picking Boots Ennis to win this fight again. Vote is Barrier still just now getting up. Wow, wow. Yeah, they're talking about it on the broadcast right now. Round four, he did both guys. I mean, it was more Barrier just responding to Guido starting that fourth round is I'm gonna just go. I'm gonna just press the green button, go, the gas, and go. Landing some shots and looking at the replay. Oh, shot on the side of the head. It wasn't even a clean punch. It wasn't even a hook, too. It was on like the side of the head, a right hand to the side of the head. I think got enough of the temple. I'm trying to see. Yeah, enough of the temple. It was good. He was already going. That just sent him on his way. Wow. Wow. That's heavyweight boxing for you. Guido Vianello. Hey, man, he's letting out a scream right there. Wow. There's the upset. Watching here is Guido Vianello. Well, okay. So Vianello wins via knockout in Philly. The co-main means we're getting to the main. Jaron Boots Ennis. Let's talk about it. That's why we're here. Boots Ennis taking on Uisma Lima. Uisma Lima 14-1. Never fighting in America before. You know, a lot of people are saying, "Hey, it's nobody." No, Lubin's legit. I said Lubin because they're showing Virgil Ortiz versus Erickson Lubin promo on the TV. My apologies, Lima. Lima's legit. Lima's a solid, good boxer at 54. It's not the name we want to see Boots take on, but he's a solid guy. You know, I know Eddie Hearn and Boots and to sell this fight are going to make this guy up to be incredible, right? He's a good guy. He's a good fighter. Good test to begin 154, I believe. For Boots, it's the performance, man. If you stuck with me throughout this stream, how long have I been streaming? About 40 minutes. I've talked about it, how Boots wins this fight. Does he have to do it in dominant fashion? I don't know. We'll see. I think Chris Mannix is going to talk to Guido Vianello as we're getting closer and closer to the main event. Sugar Hill Stewart in the corner, Barrier. Wow. Heavyweight boxing. I'm trying to think. What else is there? I see Shakur Stevenson is at the fight tonight. Obviously, Zaquan Moses. Zaquin. Is it Zaquan? Zaquin, I think. Moses. His cousin fighting on the prelims. I'm trying. Boots is not signed to Eddie Hearn. He signed with Turkey for a few fights. I think he still has a fine relationship with Eddie. But he's there. He's been there the last three because this is Boots's fourth fight under Matchroom. His first fight was Avanesian, brought him back to Philly. Second fight was Karen rematch because Eddie couldn't get out of it. Third fight was Stanionis, now here. Okay, yeah, this is Boots' fourth fight and re-upped his deal with Matchroom. So, Shakur's been at all the fights, I think. Because I remember seeing him first fight. Maybe he might not have been there the second fight actually, but I think he was there in Atlantic City. Either way, Shakur's really been a mainstay. Philadelphia, Jersey, East Coast. Shakur is in the building. In the chat, a lot of Boots Ennis votes to win this fight. How though? How does he win the fight? KO? Decision? Let me know. Let me know in the chat how he wins. Appreciate everyone tuning in. Guido Vianello talking to Chris Mannix. So we should get ring walk soon. Uh, Feel free to comment your predictions while the fight's going on. Scorecards. Oops. Yeah, you see right here. Yeah, right here. Comment your scorecards during the fight. How you think each round's going. Um, you'll be able to sync up if you want, and then like the stream. I'd appreciate it, and subscribe as well. Is that Luis de Cubas? I don't think so. Let's see if they show that same angle again. De Cubas obviously with PBC. Oh, that's a nice uppercut. Uh, I'm trying to see. I don't think so. No. I was wondering because I saw. Uh, I was like, I don't think so, but no, it isn't. We will see. Jaron Boots Ennis take a ring walk soon. Guido, obviously, talking his talk after getting that knockout. Boots 72% in the poll. Talked a lot about Boots here. That's what it is. Boots Ennis fight. Predictions. Personally, I do think Boots gets the knockout. I see a lot of people saying before 8. I would love to see Boots go some rounds at 154. I don't know if the I want three tune-ups is legit or that's just something from Verge Ortiz's team saying that, right? But I think it would be smart because of the level of competition that Boots should be fighting in his next fight at 54. Man, if you want to field the division, go some rounds. I know you don't always don't have that luxury just to, be able to go rounds sometimes, but like if you can go 8 to 10 rounds, get him out in the 10th round. I know some people will have a problem with that. Oh, you took too long to get a nobody out, right? But it might benefit you, excuse me, in the long run if you go 10 rounds with Lima. But I say all that to say, I do think Boots gets him out via stoppage. Man, round 9. Yeah, I think he gets him out before the championship rounds. Wait, he stopped Stanionis in the 6th. Man, that was a great Boots performance against Stanionis. I think Boots, yeah, before the championship rounds, not 8, 9. I don't see 8, 9, 10. Not 10's championship, but like, yeah, that range. Boots 70-30 in the poll. As co-main guys going back to their locker room. Vino. Let's see. See how long they take before the main event guys come out. Let's see. Boots walked out with G Herbo. He walked out with Kerr in the first Philly fight, then G Herbo in the second one. I wonder who would walk out with this one. Boots has always said his dream walkout, as they're showing main event guys in their locker room. Boots has always said his dream walkout artist would be Future. I think that'd be The question is, what song would you have Future perform? That'd be that'd be a great question. I'm trying to think. If Future has a song hard to choose one, I think I'd go that one. It's one of my personal favorites. Future one would be good. I wonder if Boots will have somebody walk out. I know he didn't have a rapper last time. He had Tyrese Maxey walk out with him. Listening to what Sergio Mora, yeah, is saying here. Boots looked pause. He looked good for his weight cut. It looked like he wasn't too drained. That again, that's huge because he's still losing weight to get to 54. It's still not going to be 100% comfortable, as no weight cut necessarily is. But going to 54 still isn't easy necessarily for Boots. It's better than 47, but it's not easy. Um, he looked better. There were still some pictures that look like, ooh, maybe a little skeleton-ishy, but overall the videos, okay. He looks better than he was when he was at 47. Sure, just from the videos of him in the locker room, looks like everything's good for Boots. Boots is by knockout. Okay, that's minus 390. So that's what the odds are. Plus 300, that's your money if you want to bet Boots. At least DraftKings, that's what the odds are showing. Interesting. If you think Boots wins, only way to make money, bet 100, turn profit. Well, you can turn a small profit, whatever. If you were plus money would be Boots by decision. I don't see that happening, but maybe, maybe. Let me know. You think Boots get if Boots is getting a knockout, or do you think this will be going to a decision? Streaming here for 50 minutes. I appreciate everyone tuning in. We should be entering main event time within minutes. Within minutes, you're going to be seeing Boots versus Uisma Lima. I'm showing the Naked Gun trailer. Pretty funny movie. I saw that in theaters. Boots Ennis. Again, a top 10 talent in the sport. It's just the resume hasn't caught up to the talent of Boots. And I say that just because the opponents, that's why everyone's mad about this fight. Because they want to see Boots against the best. They want to see Boots against the top guys in whether it was 47 or 54. They wanted to see Boots versus Brian Norman Jr. because Brian Norman Jr. gets the knockout of the year, arguably. Boots is the top guy at 47. Okay, fight number two. Boots says, I'm going to 54. Probably the right move for his career, but people want to see Boots versus the best. And no, I don't think Brian Norman Jr. necessarily is on the level of Boots Ennis, but he sure proved that I think in a fight versus him, it's not lopsided, it's not one sided. There's a path for Brian Norman Jr. to win, even though I wouldn't pick him, I wouldn't have him as the favorite. That's the thing. We want to see these fights where Boots isn't the runaway favorite. You can, and the Stanionis one was good. Stanionis one is going into that. People thought Stanionis is going to give him problems. Boots made it look easy. So we will see. That's what we want to see at 54 and in Boots' career. Looks like DAZN's going to go back up to their perch and talk. So it might be a few minutes before the ring walks. Hopefully they go straight to the ring walks, but let's see. It's 10:30 in Philly right now. Okay, yeah. Okay, looks like Lima got another vote. 2/3 of the chat and the voters in the poll have Boots Ennis winning this fight. Hawks beat the Grizzlies in the preseason for basketball. If you're interested in that, just got that update. Jalen Johnson at 20 points. I just picked him in a fantasy basketball draft. Okay, they're gonna have Eddie Hearn talk. Let's see. I bet he'll talk about the Virgil versus Boots fight. I was talking about the heavyweights actually. Okay, yeah. So they're talking heavyweights here. Again, I want to hear what Eddie's saying about Boots versus Virgil. It says 9,000. I bet they'll eventually get up to 10,000. I saw 9,000 the other day. I bet 10,000 walk-in crowd here. Again, Boots can sell in his hometown and on the East Coast. Boots Ennis, again, if you're just joining in, Boots Ennis going to take the ring soon here. Co-main's co-main undercard all done. So, ooh, Eddie Hearn talking about Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury for 2026. Talk about a mega fight. Ooh, that would be insane, especially in the UK and England. Oh my goodness. That'd be a fun fight. Fury coming out of retirement if you were to do that. Bet Turkey Al Sheik would pay handsome money for that one. Has shown a liking to Tyson Fury as well. All right, here we go. Eddie Hearn about to talk about Boots Ennis. All right, here in the 154 is going to be good for Boots. That's what we expect. Oh, I think gallery department. Yeah, I think Boots said gallery department did his trunks and his shoes for this fight, which pretty good. All right, Eddie Hearn putting the pressure on Boots, saying he needs a great performance from him tonight. Now they're going to ask about future fights. Okay, let's see what Boots or Eddie's saying about that fight. He's saying he sat in a room with. This is all things Eddie Hearn has said before, actually. Eddie Hearn saying that they're waiting on Virgil's team. Virgil's team is waiting to conclude the Lubin fight, and then they'll go for the Boots versus Virgil. Eddie putting all the blame and placing it all, saying Virgil Ortiz and Golden Boy sign the contract. So we'll see, but we got to see both these guys get through their fights right now. Main event about to come up. I'll be back in 1 second, but grab a brand new bottle of water and get this main event started. Appreciate everyone tuning in. I'll be back in just 1 second. Here, it's totally just be a second as they're going through their final promo videos for Boots Ennis here on the zone. Bakram Martalovic against Andrew Zayas, Sebastian Fundora, champions at 54. Virgil Ortiz, obviously. Hey, not much more to say about this. It's Boots Ennis. How does he look? How does he look at 54 against Lima? Personally, I think this is a fight. I've said this if you were with me at the start of the stream. This is a fight I think Boots wins. I do think Boots handles his business. I'm predicting stoppage around what's that? Around 8, 9, maybe 10. That's what I'm predicting. I'm looking at three things. Let's go over those three things real quick. Power, speed, defense. Power and speed for Boots Ennis. Going to 47. Word was from him and his team, and it looked like it. He was draining to get to 47. All right, guys, we're about to get the main event. But Boots draining down to 47. He said it made him slower. You know, you would think draining down slows you down. Let's see him in this fight. Does he look faster? Does he have more power at 154 pounds now that he doesn't have to go all the way down to 47? Still has to lose pounds. He could fight at 160 tomorrow, I think, and be comfortable at 160. He's more comfortable here for 54 than he was 47. Does he feel more powerful? Does he look faster? Is he faster? Is the footwork as good? That's what I'm looking to see. And of course, defense. I think Boots has the ability to have top tier defense. He's been hit a little too much for my liking. But then again, I can't complain because one, he's winning these fights by a lot or knocking these guys out. You can't always be mad at fighters for getting hit because that means they're taking chances. You know, people hate Shakur Stevenson because he doesn't get hit and they say he's boring. And then people hate Boots Ennis because he gets hit, even though he gets wins. And they say, well, your defense should be better. So I understand, it's hard to do that. But personally, I mean, Boots Ennis, you're going to be fighting top guys at 54. Was it? I'd like to see him lock up and shore up the defense a little bit, but hey, if he continues to put on performances like he has been, I'd happily eat my own words there. As they're showing the tail of the tape, Boots with a 2-inch weight advantage, weighed in at 153.4, Lima 153. 14 and 1, 10 KOs for Lima. Boots 34 and 0 with 30 KOs on his resume. Excuse me. Both for in their prime, or looks like their prime age. Boots 28, Lima 32. Lima older, but 28. I mean 32. Excuse me. Still a good age to be at, as I believe. Here we go. Okay, ring walks for the main. That's what right now is time for 10:40 in Philly. Right about time. Lima headed to the ring. I'm sure he's going to be showered with booze from the hometown of Boots Ennis in Philadelphia. Hey, Philly loves their guys, whether that be. And Philly's had a tough week. They need this from Boots Ennis. Eagles lost Thursday night. Phillies got eliminated by the Dodgers. Philly needs this. Jaron Boots Ennis has got to come through for the Philly fans. You think about it. Maybe I saw this. More people might have actually showed up to this fight because of the fact that the Phillies were eliminated. Phillies would have had I think, a home game tonight. Maybe no, it was yesterday. But they would have had a home game. Game 5, you got to think some people were maybe deciding whether or not to go to that. Well, if you get eliminated, that takes one of the options away. So here it is in Philly. Lima making his way to the ring. Last fought on May 31st. Got a TKO in the 9th round. Quick walk. Oh my goodness, that's all business. By the time I said that, he's in the ring right now. Wow. Lima's saying, let's go. Let's get this started. Boots Ennis leading in the poll in the chat. Feel free if you're new. Go let me know. Go vote. Boots or Lima? Who do you have in this fight? Hit the like button. Feel free to subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Let's see. Main event time about to commence. They're going to show their promo video for Boots Ennis, and Boots will make his ring walk. I wonder if we'll have a as the crowd standing up. Let's see if we have somebody walk out with Boots here tonight. Again, I mentioned in his hometown affiliate, Kerr, a Philly rapper, and then G Herbo, his last Philly fight. Is Boots is still in his locker room. Is that the Undertaker? Can't hear exactly. I think Boots is gonna the A side. He's still putting on his fight suit, so he's gonna make Lima. Lima, rushed out there to the ring. Lima's gonna be waiting in the ring for about another 5 minutes, I think. That's the A side for you. The A side can do that. A side can do that, and Boots definitely flexing that right now. They're showing him on the jumbotron. It's funny. It's this looks like stuff you would do, before the fight. He doesn't even have his fight jacket on. It's funny that Matchroom is showing this on the jumbotron. They don't have a fight video going right now, but yeah, the Undertaker theme, which he had last time in Philly too, and then he had G Herbo walk out with him. So Lima in the corner, just waiting for his opportunity to pull the upset. Man, with this being a big upset, this would be a huge upset. I mean, maybe one of the biggest of the year if Lima's able to pull it off. There we go. Boots getting ready right now. I think, yeah, gallery department did his fight suit, fight night look. Let me know in the comments how you have Boots winning this fight. As Boots set to walk to the ring right now with Eddie Hearn right beside him and his team. It's time. I mean, here we go. We want to see Virgil and Boots, Boots and Virgil. First step is tonight. Next step is November 8th, and then the next step is the two promotions, Matchroom and Golden Boy, making the fight happen. But right now, on October 11th, Boots Ennis has got to take care of business. As he walks to the ring, Boots has got to take care of business against Lima. Boots, Philadelphia. Again, I mentioned they need it. Eagles lost. Phillies lost. 76er as a Knicks fan, 76ers season not looking, all that promising. You might, if you're a 76ers fan, you might have something to say about that as a Knicks fan. I gotta throw a shot here and there sometimes, but Philly needs this. Boots makes his way down the hallway. And here we go. Okay, it's about to be the fight promo video, and we're about to have a ring walk here. Appreciate everyone again tuning in as Boots' ring walk. Nope, Boots is not a Cowboy fan. He's the complete opposite. He's a Philadelphia Eagles fan. A bit of rivals to the Cowboys, so no. Eh, uh, The fight night outfit is, I think it was blue and silver and white, so Cowboy colors, but no, definitely not a Cowboys fan. Promo video going showing the ring belt the Boots won at 47. This is for a WBA interim belt at 54. Boots, I didn't even talk. I mean, in this camp, he went to Big Bear and trained with Canelo. He helped Canelo prepare for Terrence Crawford. Obviously, didn't go the way Canelo wanted, but for Boots, that's huge. Yeah, rounds in with Canelo Alvarez as Boots taking his time to, kind of enjoy this moment again. I think maybe one of his last fights in Philly for a while until he's an A side back. 71% of the fan zone vote for the zone. Most people believe Boots is winning. Quick walks to the ring tonight. Boots already in the ring. All right, here, let's do it. Let's get this fight going. Here we go. Boots entering the ring. Do our ring intros and let's get it going. Boots, obviously, last fight was April 12th, defeating Montes Stanionis. I think maybe Boots' best performance of his entire career was that fight against Stanionis. Let's see if he follows it. I want to see Boots at his peak follow these performances up. Let's see it. We're gonna get that opportunity here tonight. As here we go. As we're gonna do a national anthem. Oh, we're doing both anthems. Okay. Oops. Wrong screen. Milwaukee Brewers beat the Cubs if you're a baseball fan in game 5. I think I hear some booing. Well, Lima's national anthem. My apologies, I didn't hear what country he's from originally, but that's Philly for you, man. Jeez, Philly. No joke. Uh, we'll do United States national anthem after this for Boots Ennis, and then we'll get our ring intros out of the way, and we're going. Again, before the fight starts, let me know in the chat. Vote on the poll. Boots or Lima? Who do you got winning? As first anthem has concluded. It's the American national anthem, United States. As first was the Portugal national anthem, and then now America. New to the stream, feel free hit the like button on this stream. I'd appreciate it. And if you're new, hit the subscribe button. We're gonna have coverage of this fight afterwards, and of course, all the fights coming up soon. Jaron Boots Ennis set to try and show out in Philadelphia. Boots make his 154-pound debut in his hometown of Philadelphia against Lima. Wrapping up national anthems here, get ring intros, and then first round will begin. Philly crowd there to support hometown guy in Boots Ennis. Finishing up national anthems right now. We're about to get underway. As Boots Ennis in the poll, 65% voters believe Boots will win this fight against Lima. Let me know how you think, and of course, during the fight, let me know your scorecards, how you have this fight. Tyrese Maxey in the building. Tyrese was in Atlantic City for his last fight, walked out with Boots for the Stanionis fight. Uh, yeah, this is home arena for Tyrese Maxey, where the Phillies play. Uh, as we're about to get our ring intros. lot more time to fill tonight. This has been, you know, 4.5 rounds of the co-main, and then of course we're still waiting for the main event to get started. But Boots Ennis, three things I'm looking for: power, speed, defense. There you go. Intro's still taking place. Introducing the judges: Glenn Feldman, Kevin Morgan, Steve Weisfeld. Solid, solid three. Again, Boots trying to make sure this doesn't go to the judges' scorecard. Sean Clark, the referee, in the ring with the fighters here tonight. There we go. Lima about to be introduced. I'll have, if you're new, a round. Oh, looking, pointing the wrong way. You can see the round there. I'll have a timer like this one, and then you can sync if you want to do that. So we will do that when the first bell rings, and being under the way here tonight. Fight is on the zone. Feel free, bring up the fight on your TV, laptop, computer, whatever. And if you want to hear me talk throughout the stream as well, I'll be doing that round by round, talking through this fight, doing a little bit of broadcasting as Boots commanding lead in our poll here in the chat. Michigan college football fan. Michigan just lost, upset to USC. As Lima introduced right now. And now the crowd's going to get hyped for Jaron Boots Ennis's intro. How does Boots look in at 154? That's the biggest question of them all for me. Talked about it at length. Not going to talk about it anymore once this fight starts, but let's see how Boots fares at 54. Because there's elite top guys at 54 in that division. If you're new here again before this fight begins, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. We're covering all the fights here on the Never Drops podcast. Philly standing up for their hometown guy. We're about to get this fight underway. There we go. It is fight night. It's time. It is fight night in Philly, and for Boots Ennis, here we go. Meeting in the center of the ring. I'll say, Lima has never looked nervous throughout this entire build-up. He looks like he's there to shock the world, and that is what he would do if he comes away with a win in this fight. Here we go. Round number one begins right now. Okay, there we go. Boots Ennis, obviously the southpaw, can switch. That's why Canelo brought him into camp for Terrence Crawford to sort of mimic the switch hitting. Going with a right hand first to begin this round. Didn't land, just feeling out still. 20 seconds into the first round. Which using the jab, pulling it out there. Lima is the type of guy that he's going to use head movement. He's going to be an awkward type of guy. Uh, Maybe a little bit just awkwardness. That's the only thing I'm comparing it with. Israel Madrimov when Terrence Crawford moved up to 154. Just how awkward he is moving the head. Um, that might be how Lima is. Madrimov, great opponent for Terrence Crawford. Let's see if Lima can replicate that in the ring. I'm going to go on still. Feeling out process for the guys. Boots now switches to no, switch back. Okay. He's still southpaw. For half a second, I think he was orthodox. Okay, nice uppercut from Boots with the right hand. Oh, I think he might have hurt him. Oh, drops him in the first round. Boots Ennis just dropped Lima with a clean right hook in the first round. We're not even halfway through this fight. Lima's up. We will see. Can Boots finish the job in the first and make a statement? Boots Ennis teeing off right now. Lima doesn't have any legs. Boots throws the left, right, left, left. Lima is down again for the second time. Oh my goodness. Talk about a performance here. Two times in the first 2 minutes, minute and 30. Lima has one more opportunity. Here we go. Does Boots get the stoppage in the first? Goes to the body. Lima backing up to the corner. Boots teeing off. The ref might step in if he doesn't see anything. Left hand, right hand, left uppercut. Ref steps in and stops the fight. Boots get the stoppage. Throws the mouthpiece into the crowd. Oh my goodness. Boots Ennis is at 154. Oh my goodness. And Boots hasn't cracked a smile this entire time. This is a business. Get rid of the countdown. Boots, oh my goodness. Boots staring. Boots, this is business for Boots. Oh my goodness. I talked about a Boots might have to make up for Philly for the last performance against Karen. He did that and then some. Oh my goodness. Within the first 2 minutes, Boots Ennis knocks out Lima. I know some might say, oh, ref jumped in early. He didn't get hit. He still got stopped. I don't care. Wow. Oh my goodness. I know the critics are going to say, who's Lima? I don't care. That's how you enter a division. Oh my goodness. Let's see the replays here. Oh, what an uppercut from Boots. Then that was a right hand, then right hook, then left, right. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Blink and you miss it. Boots Ennis with the first round TKO stoppage as the ref stepped in. They're showing the second knockout on the screen. Oh, right hook drops him. And I can't wait till they get Boots in ring interview. I think Boots is calling out somebody and probably everybody. Oh my goodness. Jaron Boots Ennis. Welcome to 154 pounds. He broke more of a sweat in the locker room before the fight. I said, and everybody said, Virgil and Boots, these guys are going to be compared. These two fights, they're fighting a month apart. These guys are going to get compared to each other. What they do in the ring. I don't, opposition is opposition, right? Virgil, are you watching this? 154. I mean, I didn't get to see much from speed or honestly just defense because Boots' power and speed dominated the 2 minutes that this fight lasted. Oh my goodness. And it was evident from the first punch he landed. Oh man. Ref stops. Lima didn't give any instant reaction. I mean, if he didn't stop it right now, Lima, like, next round was going to get dropped bad. Oh my goodness. Jaron Boots Ennis. My goodness. Boots Ennis. Let's get Boots on the mic. I want to see what Boots has to say because he has not smiled once. This was business. Talking with Eddie Hearn right now. Oh my goodness. Eddie Hearn put pressure before on Boots. He said, Boots. I need a performance out of Boots tonight. There you go. Oh my goodness. So, wow. It's really, I don't care about opposition, competition, whatever. Boots just smacked that dude out in 2 minutes in 154 new division. I mean, the only drawback you might want to say is, oh, we didn't go rounds at 54. Who cares? Who cares? We know Boots is a great talent. Oh my goodness, pound for pound talent, man. Wow. You want to build up a fight? That's how you do it right there, Boots Ennis. Oh my goodness. Dang. Oh my goodness. Obviously wins the WBA interim championship title. Man, I hope people in Philly showed up for the undercard because the main event happened like that. 2 minutes in and out. Wow. And Lima's fought at that division for years, I think. Just looks so much bigger than like physically. 54 is going to be the division for Boots for 3, 4, 5 years, I think would be max, but 3, 4 years. This is Boots' division if he wants it. Wow. When have we seen a fight like that? New division, a lot of pressure. I know Boots fought in nobody. That's going to be the sentiment right now. But you go up to a new weight class, you go through a guy in 2 minutes. I mean, that's a statement. Let's see what Boots is having to say. Again, I know they're going to build up Lima. Again, tough opponent, not a great opponent, but still, 2 minutes, man. Boots talking right now. See, I want to see him call out people. I know he said, "Bring me names." Call out specific guys, champions, Virgil, anybody. Call them out. Wow. See, Boots got hit with a shot, but he delivered a shot too. Oh my goodness. Both hands too, right, left, everything was connecting and hurting Lima from Boots. It's the weight, man. The weight makes a huge. Oh my goodness. I mean, this is the best Boots. I mean, we've seen just physically the best Boots we've seen in years, I think. Wow. Let's see. All right, about to talk about who he wants next. Okay. All right. That's what we want to hear from Boots called out. The champions, Virgil and Charlo. Wow. Wow. Okay, that's what I wanted to hear. I want to hear Virgil. I want to hear Sebastian. I wanted to hear Bakram. I wanted to hear Xander. There you go. Then close out Charlo. Charlo did post that picture of a lion biting a boot. Let's see what Eddie has to say. Wow. Eddie going at Oscar. Eddie's saying what he has to say, right? I'm listening to Eddie Hearn right here talk with Chris Mannix with Jaron Ennis right by his side. Boots versus Virgil. Got to see it. Got to see it. No ifs, ands, or buts. All right. There we go. Boots Ennis. Short stream. Brandon Adams versus Boots is what I want. All right. So that's the thing. It's not an easy fight for Virgil because Virgil's got to take on Erickson Lubin. So, wow. I want to see Boots against Virgil Ortiz. I want to see him against Charles. I want to see him against these guys that are champions at 154 because I think Boots is that level of talent. Here tonight, you don't really get to see him go rounds, but so what? He knocks the dude out in 2 minutes. There you go. That's Boots Ennis. Boots versus Virgil. Virgil, like Eddie Hearn said, man, win on November 8th, and let's do it. Woo! A short stream here tonight because Boots Ennis said, I want to have a short night in the ring. 2 minutes and I'm out, in and out. Man, oh man, what a fight. Boots Ennis introduces himself to 154. Blast Lima out of there. Get out of there. He said, oh my goodness. Boots, that's how you welcome it. A lot of people on the outside, critics, and you can say what you want about this fight. Boots said, I don't want to hear it. I'm going to get in, do my business, and get out. There it is. It's as simple as that. Boots Ennis wins this fight via TKO in the first round. Calls out Virgil Ortiz, Jermel Charlo, Sebastian Fundora, Xander Zayas, Bakram Muratalovich. That's what you wanted to see. A pound for pound talent. Woo! Boots Ennis put on a show in Philadelphia. A short stream because Boots, like I said, short night. That's all I got here. I appreciate everyone tuning in. If you're new, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. I'm going to have a post-fight coverage coming out very soon. And of course, fight coverage for all these upcoming fights. And hopefully, news soon saying Virgil and Boots are agreed. We'll see. I appreciate everyone tuning in here to the Never Drop podcast stream. That's all I got for you. Boots Ennis, TKO, first round, 2 minutes. Get him in and get him out. We'll see what's next. Hopefully, it's Virgil Ortiz. That's all I got for you here tonight. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'm out. Peace.